So this is who we are doing the call with. Emir, he secretly joined the cult. It was so hilarious. I think dude's gonna be an absolute character. Yo, what's good, boys?
What's up, brother?
Nice to meet you guys. My name is Ricky. I'm a skateboarding content creator. How we
Yeah.
ended up in Scientology is kind of interesting. But okay, so your name's Emir and Kevin, right?
Oman.
You should
I
say
like
Kevin
I like
Kevin
Tony
Bennett.
Bolsakovich. Tony Bolsakovich is
Hell
an
yeah.
absolute fire name.
Yeah, you could just call me by that.
I call you Tony.
Yeah, or you
Hell
can
yeah.
say the full name.
Yeah,
Well said.
Mr. Bolsakovich.
There you go.
Um, yeah, cool. So yeah, I really enjoyed both your videos. I have a bit of experience with Scientology. Is that I used to work for this big skateboarding channel, and the guy was a famous Scientologist kind of thing. And
Yeah.
I was like, I'm not super keen on it, but bro can do whatever he wants in his life. We're focused on skating. If he wants to do whatever away from skating, that's fine. But then it was like that for a while, and then at the very end, it all like blew up, and the whole channel like exploded, and now
Yeah.
all the employee skaters like me and the other guys went away from him, and he's kind of by himself, and the audience really
And the
kind of
group
turned
was
on him.
called Braille, if I remember correctly, right?
Yeah, Braille
Wait,
skateboarding.
Braille skateboarding, right?
Yeah, exactly.
He would make the tutorials on how to ollie, how to kickflip, how to do all that. He would.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. You guys ever tried to skate?
Yeah, I actually used to skate. I used to skate professionally when I was younger.
Damn, that's sick. Tell me more about that.
Yeah, so I started skating like literally when I was like 10 years old. Continued all the way till I was like 16, 17. Um, then I had pulled a muscle in my leg, and after that, like my skateboard was battered, like it was like fucked up. I'm pretty sure I snapped my board too, and then I kind of just I wouldn't say lost interest, but uh, from there, like I don't know, I just I guess shit, I just kind of dropped it for a minute. Didn't really care to do it anymore, but I used to skate.
Yeah,
I used
sick.
to play in a couple local.
What tricks
I used
would
to
you
skate a
doing?
lot of
Like,
vert. That's what I used to do. I used to skate a lot of vert, like half pipes and shit.
hell yeah.
That was usually my favorite. I used to do some street too. I got ollie, kick flip, heel flip, fucking ollie downstairs, staircases, grind rails, whatever you name
Damn,
it.
that's sick. When do you think was the last time you skated? Did you ever skate again just randomly?
Yeah, sometimes like on a hot day, I'll just hit the skate park. I'll do some tricks in the bowl if they got a bowl. I might ollie a couple stairs, but I don't take it serious like how I used to. Like, it's almost kind of like a pastime,
Yeah. And
something to
like
do when
that you
I'm
knew the
bored.
Braille tutorials when you were learning like tricks, did you watch some of them?
Oh hell yeah, fuck yeah! I learned where he had like a sequence of how he would do it. It was ollie. This is what I was first starting. It was ollie, front side 180, back side 180, pop shove it, front shove, heel flip, then kick flip. I learned it
Damn,
exactly in
bro
that
even
order.
remembers the order because I remember that heel flip is before kickflip. So
Yup.
that's the order right there. That's funny. I didn't know that. That's sick. But yeah, if you want more information on the Braille thing, there's a good video that like a famous like a
Yeah, I've seen
downfall
that.
YouTuber
To be honest with you, I
made.
never skated or anything, so I'm not as cool. But I did end up watching that video.
Yeah, that's
That's
pretty
when
accurate. I would say like it's like pretty much spot on.
yeah.
Yeah, cool. Okay, so I want to know what prompted you guys to do this Scientology thing.
So it was kind of. Do you hear me first of all and everything? I'm low key on my seventh grade school Chromebook right now, so I don't know how much it is.
Yeah, it looks good. Like maybe if you
Yeah,
could turn a light on, it might help a little bit. But other than that, it's
I'll
good.
do that. I'll do that. But basically, it was started that. Um, Me and him, we've been doing content and stuff for a while, and it was honestly never like a content thing. Many people think like our intent was to expose Scientology, quote, expose them or find some shit where I don't know, just the typical pattern with that we notice with other people who make videos on Scientology is one, they try and take them down, or two, they kind of like attack or go into it the way they shouldn't, if that makes sense. Like, have you ever seen those Scientology videos where it's like just utter harassment, like from the outside?
From like the anti-Scientology people.
Yeah, where it's like
Yeah,
they'll like be
yeah.
talking like a C word member or something, and then they'll be talking to like a C word member or some shit, and then it's They just closed the doors altogether. We wanted to be people that open the doors for it. We
Yeah.
wanted. We're never sold on something completely when a person tells us, even if something has a lot of backlash to it. We want to get that experience for ourselves. And if you watched any of the videos, I've mentioned that multiple times to the camera and even to the people in Scientology. And that's just kind of what made us want to go in.
Yeah, hell yeah. So the place was kind of like downtown Chicago or whatever, right?
Yeah, so
Is
it
there
was
more?
in Chicago.
Is there more than one Scientology building?
Yeah, so in the whole Midwest, the only places with a Scientology building are one in Chicago and one in Detroit. And besides that, the closest would be who knows where. Um, but there is interesting thing is if you look up anything like Scientology building related, you'll find multiple that have been in damn near every state, but almost all of them end up closing down. Like Wisconsin had how many? Only like two.
Yeah, too, and then
They had
they like
two
permanently shut them
closed
down.
like right away.
Yeah, sick. Yeah, I mean, alleged, whatever. I think allegedly in Scientology they buy a lot of property, because then it's like a way that because if you're tax exempt as a religion, you're not allowed to just have a bank account with like millions of dollars. So if you buy property though, then the religion can have churches and orgs and property and stuff. So it's like a sort of like a clean way to like hold wealth or whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's interesting because I live here in LA. So I see that, you've probably seen the famous big blue one with the big sign.
Yep.
Like that's here. Then the like celebrity center is here too. And a lot of those, and the Hollywood area has one too. And then like a lot of those anti-Scientology people, like you mentioned, you'd see them go to all those kind of like hotspots.
So
and the San Francisco
actually,
one.
We were actually supposed to come in 2 weeks to LA. So if I knew you lived in LA, I would have suggested to do this in person. So
oh yeah, sick. Are you gonna go?
Yeah, our plan is to go in like 2 weeks or something. For now, that's our plan. We originally had a shoot for Scientology, not for Scientology, but something like related to Scientology, like a little episode with a big company you probably heard of, but that kind of went backwards. So, but we're still.
Yeah, I mean, you should definitely go to some of the landmarks out here. Like that'd be sick.
Hell yeah.
But yeah, so with the videos now, I mean, you kind of like burned your cover or whatever. Now, yeah, like did Scientology reach out to you? Because I saw you were texting with the recruiter girls. Like, did they text you all mad and stuff? Like,
to be honest, so first of all, the lady, like, I'm not gonna say any of their names, but the blonde lady, I'm sure you could probably remember who she was. She had a big role in the videos. She found my first post probably before 99% of the people who've watched any of them. And like me and Oman, we went into this very prepared. So we had damn near everybody in that building blocked on all our social medias, even our burner accounts.
Okay, nice.
Because we know that anything Scientology related is watched by a Scientologist.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So
Now that we already know we were gonna get tracked and they're gonna find our social medias, but
yeah, so that was expected and everything. But yeah, she ended up finding it, and it was I'm to be completely blunt, I wouldn't be surprised if she even knew what we were doing before we left altogether, if that makes sense. Because my glasses, they were not at all. I wouldn't say my glasses were very suspicious, but at the same time, this is a group of people that they're just thirsty for whatever they could get. So many of them like don't even care if they're being recorded or anything. They just want the book sold.
Yeah. With the glasses, because they were blue, right? It's like full on sunglasses that are blue.
Yeah. So I have different lenses. So I know the only time I ever showed the glasses wasn't like, it was only in one picture, and that was, I used it a few times in a few episodes. But I change the lenses on the glasses frequently. So some days they're like clear lens, so like damn near reading goggles, and I have like a little goggle strap in the back to make them look like goggles because they're a little thick. They're not as suspicious as people do. Like I wasn't wearing full on sunglasses.
Yeah,
like,
because I thought when we finally saw them and saw that they're blue, I'm like, no way, bro's wearing like blue sunglasses in the theater in the dark. Like,
yeah, no, but that day it was a
clear is
day,
good.
so it was like it made more sense than it looked.
Yeah, sick. I was also impressed when they took the glasses and they're like starting to plug it in. I'm like, they're cooked now. But I was impressed that you said you like modified the port or whatever so it wouldn't like register. Like I was
Yeah,
impressed by that
so
too.
I did change that up a little bit and everything. He did end up plugging it in and was about to Omen was so I actually didn't tell Omen that I did that.
Oh, sick.
I realized I never told him I did that. So the whole time he had the glasses, Omen was like trying to snatch them out of his hands and shit. And I'm just telling him, no, no, hold it, just leave it. Like he's not gonna find shit, right?
Bro, I thought we were cooked because
Yeah.
he had no good glass. I'm like, bro,
He ends
if
up
he's about to keep the glasses and fucking, I don't know, use it as fucking, I don't know, Scientology evidence and plan some shit
yeah,
on us. So
no.
I'm just snatching the shit
Yeah.
out of his fucking hands. But so I guess we were chilling for the most part.
Yeah, no, he plugged his cords in and they did their thing. And I loved the feeling of it. Yeah, in a way I was a little nervous, I'm not gonna lie, because like with my luck, what if it somehow did work? But like they all ended up circling around us like a Johnny Sins video. So then he ends up plugging
Yeah.
it in and it just nothing comes up and it was gold.
Yeah, damn, that's crazy. Um, was there anything crazy that happened that you like didn't want to put in the video and you like cut it out?
There were things we didn't put in. For example, like it. To be honest, I can't say there was anything like crazy bizarre that would shut him down. Like I have like some of my friends after me and him, we did this for a little while before we made it public, for obvious
Yeah.
reasons. But afterwards, as you could imagine, to some people that we knew in person, it was like they were really curious about it. But some of them were expecting us to say things like, I don't know, they sacrifice babies or some shit. But it's not most cults, as I'm sure you're aware, just don't work that way. Like it's just all cults, in my opinion, want one thing, and that's money and power. That's kind
Yeah.
of what makes a cult.
Scientology as well as like you know, you were on the low level, you bought the book and you did the things. And
Yeah,
then like I think the first big commitment is the spa thing that you guys were talking to him about. And that was like 5K or whatever it cost. But it's like
hmm
you never really get the experience of the sort of like higher up people in Scientology because your lower ones, it's like they're still trying to get you in to enjoy it and to have fun and like it's not negative yet or whatever. It's like
yeah,
when you're in too deep when they start to hit you with the crazy shit.
yeah. You still do see some interest. Like for starters, almost every staff member in there, it was kind of felt like the movie Get Out. I don't know if you ever seen that, but I remember when me and Omen first walked in right after the first day. We both coincidentally said to each other at the same time, like this chick reminds us of the girl from Get Out, because they all just like they don't even blink when they talk. It's
Yeah, they
like
have that like look in
There
their
has no
eyes.
soul
I know what
behind
you
the
mean.
eyes. Like it's like looking at
yeah,
a robot.
like they're all very nice for the most part. They were nice
I
and
mean, they have
polite.
to be.
And everybody, that's what I'm saying. I don't want to discredit them for that, but like people are commenting that and whatever and letting that get in the way of the fact that what they're doing overall kind of has a negative connotation with it. And they bring up the fact that they're nice, but I mean, how are you going to gain members to any mission, any call, or anything you do if you're just a dickhead?
Yeah, for sure. But I think you can be like, you know, a victim or complicit in a cult or whatever and still be like a nice person. I think, you know, the
100%.
world's a complicated place or whatever. Like same with my experience of the Aaron Cairo guy and then his sort of like it was kind of like him and then he had his other like Scientologist friends. And I remember once I went to Aaron Cairo's house to like watch a movie or whatever. And then it was me, Aaron Cairo and his wife, super high ranking Scientologist. This other skater, Troy and his wife, both Scientologists. Then this other one, Kylie and her wife, her husband. And then there was like 7 people, Scientologists, and then me. And I was like, oh shit, like everyone is
Yeah.
like, you know, it's like a little bit uncomfortable. Did you guys feel like that at all when you're in there? You're like, fuck, this is too real. Like, did
You
you
want
feel like that at all
to
when you were filming the vids?
Yeah.
um,
When I walked in there, all I knew is like looking at everybody looked like robots. It felt like they all have to put this front to try getting people to get into their cult, right? Try putting this nice front. Oh, we love it here, whatever, whatever. But as you see, kind of like pay more attention to them, it's like there's no soul behind those eyes. It dead ass looked like they were like
yeah.
something sucked the soul out. Something sucked the soul out of them when they joined the cult. Like something just like got it out of their system, whatever. But in no way they were real people in it.
Yeah, that's hectic. Um, yeah, cool. I noticed like on your channel, Emir, like this was kind of like the first non-music related thing.
Yeah.
Like, are you interested in doing more content, or like what's kind of your plan? I thought it was kind of random that because you made a really good video. I thought it was random that you just made it like out of nowhere.
Yeah, so to be honest, like I said, we didn't, I'm not gonna say we didn't plan on posting like whatever was in there or what we did, but if we did, it was gonna be like on TikTok or Instagram, like we've been doing the whole time. I never thought of making a YouTube video because in my mind, I even always used to tell Oman when we talked about it, but I'd always say like shout out to YouTubers, honestly, because like YouTube is a lot of work, and I knew that before going into it, like it because I made everything on my phone, literally just on CapCut. So you could imagine like simply loading that shit took like one day it took me 16 hours to load it. To 16 hours on my cell phone to load that onto YouTube. Just to load it, like not even the editing or anything. So yeah, we never really had
Damn.
that intention in the first place, but the shorts and everything kind of it started to like hit us a little more that what we did is kind of like it's hard to find any inside scoop of it like
Yeah.
secretly of Scientology because it never ends up getting posted or always taken down. So we just wanted to put that to a test.
Yeah. I guess my next question is like, are you concerned that Scientology will be like bombed and like try to do something to you, or even if it's just in like a mild way? Are you worried
Yes,
about that?
honestly, yes. I'm not not in a way where I don't want to say I don't want to jinx myself and say they can't do this or they can't do that because at the
Yeah,
end of
and
the day,
also on the
we've
live,
been
like, don't say anything that you don't want to say.
yeah, of course, because yeah, at the end of the day, we're two individuals against one of a group that even people with millions of dollars have tried to take down and have ended up like regretting it. So that's why I always emphasize the point that we're not trying to take down or expose Scientology anyway. And with all honesty, I'm not even just saying this for the camera. We never were, and we're still not. We have other videos we're doing too that we're in other cults or groups, marginalized groups of people right now that we've
Yeah,
been in them for a few months, and the same way we have been for Scientology. And there are a few that, like, we know if we make a video on it, which we are, they're not going to end up being any. I don't want to say bad things, but it's just a lot of these groups are different from what you would expect, and
yeah,
Scientology just so happens to be something that isn't very different from everything that you hear about it. Like we saw all the pieces of the puzzle were put together. So
yeah, sick. Yeah, you mentioned in the video like Reckless Ben a few times. You should definitely try
yeah,
to link with him because that's kind of what he does too. He did a few other
yeah.
cult series where he would join and stuff.
But he
And
did.
then there
He's
was
I
one.
didn't know him until and I'm sorry I keep cutting you off. I swear my
No,
shit
you
is
good.
like really bad. But I actually didn't know who he was until I started uploading shorts and people put me onto him. And when I found him, I was like, dude, this guy's a gem. Like the fact he only has like a few 100K views per video, which it's not a little, but like for what he does, in my opinion, he deserves like a lot more, you know? Because that
That's
the
what I
stuff that
thought.
yeah,
Yeah, that's what I thought too. He was grinding content for a long time. He did the Scientology series and it was like pretty popular. Then he was doing a bunch of other random stuff and it was like not really popular. But he got really big momentum for there was some guy that ran like a
the Candy
haunted
Manor,
house
yeah.
thing. Yeah,
Yep.
that was really, really, really popping for him. And I'm not sure what he's been posting recently, but when I saw
He
that,
stopped posting for 2 years. 2 whole years.
why is bro do that? Yeah, I don't
Yeah.
know.
I
I'm
googled
friends
that
with
he
some
got
of his
into emo
friends.
trouble.
I'm
What
friends
was
with
that?
some of Ben's friends, but I've never really talked to him
Yeah.
because he's in LA as well. But yeah, he's always gone like I've respected his like grind as well.
You know, I would love to actually I think I DM'd him on IG like a fan of Loki. I wanted
Yeah, sick.
well I'll be down as hell to make a video with him because we really what we I know we don't have like many posts at all. We only have like 2 videos up, but we put in like more work than you'd expect for like this stuff, especially
Yeah,
considering like we don't make money off it or anything. We do show up and we show up consistently to these places and we go in with the most neutral view possible. We don't even in the Scientology videos, we weren't trying to fish or like clip farm anyone into saying something. Like even the time that girl said that little like there's that clip that blew up a bunch of times where she's like, "Whoop!" I just go right in. We didn't even
yeah,
set her up for that. Like so we everything that happened, it was like natural. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
And
totally.
in my opinion, like everybody's defense is that like you're recording them, but if the sign says all are welcome outside, like you kind of got to act like cameras are on you at all times. Like don't you can't just meet somebody a few hours ago and say things that you wouldn't want other people to hear.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. Um, I got a question for Tony Bolsakovich. Bro hit her with the Hitler stuff in that moment as well. What was going on there, dog?
So when I asked her that, I almost wanted to fish a reply, like kind of rage bait her a little bit, because I was really curious. I was really curious to see what exactly she was gonna say and how she was gonna react to it, right? So I hit her with that line. I was hoping for a reaction, right, for her to, I don't know, I wouldn't say agree with it, but yeah, nah, I wanted her like I wanted to like to see like more of like a deeper understanding of how these people think and so I hit her with that line, to see if she was gonna agree or how she was gonna react. And it almost
Yeah.
like that line took her out of her like her like robot state because
Yeah.
it's also hypocritical. It's also hypocritical too. This I'm gonna get into two parts. It took her out of her state because she went on the, put oh hey hello like put on this nice mask. Let me reel these two these two virgin boys into into Scientology. Let me reel them into Scientology, so they can get brainwashed or whatever. And then it totally flip flopped to her like, whoa, like what? Like it almost stunned her when I asked her that. And then another thing too, in Scientology, they preach about the reactive mind, right? Like because
Yeah.
they like people who are traumatized, and they kind of teach them about how to control their demons, control their reactive mind, like how to control the past traumas. And that was also ironic because she had reacted to it in a reactive mind, right? Instead of her saying, "Oh, I don't know," she almost looked like she got offended to that. So that was hypocritical what they teach in
Yeah.
Scientology.
Which is understandable that she, of course, would get offended to that. But keep in mind, the whole, like, prior to that, they spent like 30 minutes telling us about, like, after you read this book, you're going to cope with things in a non bad way. You're not going to get mad. Like, they're making you seem like you're going to be an angel after you read the book. So at first, I was a
Yeah.
little annoyed when I heard him say that Hitler thing. Like in the video, I looked away for a little bit. Like, fuck, there goes, we're out in the first week. But not only did we pick it back up, but when he explained it after, it did make sense because he was right. It kind of, I still believe that you can't get rid of your reactive mind because at the end of the day, that's just a thing all intellectuals have. Um,
Yeah.
but that does go to show that, I mean, she kind of was flustered there and then just ended
Yeah,
up.
definitely. I mean, kind of rightfully so, I guess. Yeah, my other question was, what was the total timeline? Like, how long? Like, it seemed like you guys kept coming back. Like, how long total was
Yeah,
it?
we can't really say the exact date for that, to be
Okay.
honest with you. That's something it's just something we can't put out there for multiple reasons, and I also don't want them going to. I don't want anything bad to happen to the staff members. Like I honestly
Yeah, for
don't.
sure.
And I don't know if you know Aaron Smith Levin.
Yeah, yeah,
He's a really big ex Scientologist. He's an awesome dude. And even he said, like, he even told us like it's pretty likely that something did happen to them after this video came out, and as well as other I had people in the comments. I had like one or two guys in the comments claim that they know those people personally and that I ruined their life for them because of that. Which again, it was never my intent. Like our intent was literally just to show what it's like if you're joining Scientology, and if
yeah.
that's
I
what
mean,
happened,
I think
then
saying you ruined their lives is extremely overreaction.
I bet.
Yeah, the Aaron Smith Levin is cool. I did like an interview with him before as well, like when the Braille stuff was going on. That's cool that you guys are talking to him.
Yeah, he's cool for sure. We're trying to do something similar. This is our first ever like content interview, like for stuff that's not related to our old content. So we're definitely trying to do a few more.
Yeah, did he say he wants to talk to you as well?
Yeah, he's been wanting to for. There's a flyer on me. That's my green aura. Uh, he's been saying he wanted to for a while, and we actually have one with him tomorrow. What am I talking about? We have
Oh,
one tomorrow
sick.
with him, I think around like 2, 4 o'clock or something like that.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's sick that you guys are gonna talk. Yeah, he's had a very interesting life. I'd recommend maybe look a little bit at his like life story before the interview. Is like he was
Yeah, we've been looking at him a lot. he's got a. I like what he's got going on, and I appreciate that he is an ex-Scientologist himself because um a lot of I'm sure as you know, a lot of ex-Scientologists just go off the radar when they're out of it. They don't want to talk about it. So it's
Yeah,
very ballsy of him to do what he does.
totally. Yeah. Yeah, there's another content creator kind of like in his sphere as well, Natalie too, that she would probably want to interview as well if you guys were
Yeah,
interested.
she did hit me up as well. I don't think I spoke much with her about it though.
I
But I
got the
do.
first one though. Let's go.
Heck yeah, you did.
Yeah, sick. That's cool. Yeah, so talking with him, working on some new secret projects. That's exciting. What? So you guys used to do music or still do music or what's up with
Yeah.
that?
Yeah, we still do music.
Yeah, cool. Tell me more about that.
Well, we got a Scientology diss track loading up pretty soon. Skippy just, we don't got no Scientology.
Dude, that's
Oh,
actually a
Rick, you was
sick
about to spit
idea.
some bars for us.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Loki. I
Yeah,
thought
give me
Ricky
the
was like,
guest, give me like a guest line or something. You should actually definitely do that. Cause like to, capitalize on the popularity of this stuff, be like, yo, we dropped a diss track.
we're already milking it dry as it is. So I
Nah,
feel
that's
like
good. We love the milk out
doing
here. On my Twitch, they know about the Scientology milk.
yeah, yeah. Pause.
Nah, no pause.
Yeah, no.
We
We
never
no
pause.
Omen actually he's actually trying to do something like that, but I've kind of been on the opposite side. Not that I wouldn't do it, but I feel like that's kind of like then you're just begging for them to sue you at that point or some shit.
Yeah. Yeah, I
They
think
wouldn't be able to sue if it's public. It's yeah, no. What would they do? Sue?
No,
Defamation. They already get
technically we're making
defamed
a
every
religious
single
diss
day.
track, bro. We're like distracting a religion. My college is gonna get fucked.
I guess just don't call it a diss track.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
We're
think that I
called
think the
Scientology tutorial.
yeah, how to join easiest way. I think the Reckless Ben dude, I think he had like a little bit of a back and forth with Scientology and then they came to some kind of agreement.
Yeah.
I don't know exactly what happened, but I think there was some kind of like behind the scenes stuff there.
I did see that, and also the difference with us and Ben, and again other like creators or whatever that did this too. Ben also kind of he has like a 12-part series on it or something.
Yeah.
Ours is like we kind of do use the same. We do have clips and stuff we didn't use, but at the same time, what I think again what makes ours different is that we literally just went in with a neutral view, and at the whole video is basically just whatever they told us. We we didn't like besides the Hitler thing, we didn't like farm for any reaction in any way. Like this was all
Yeah.
natural in my opinion. I don't think it could have been um I don't there's no way it could be harmful because of something we said or we did. We didn't paint them a certain way from it.
Yeah, you're not like malicious. Like you're going there to see what it's about, give me the information. You're not saying, "Oh, I'm going to expose this shitty thing." You're saying like, "Let me learn about this."
Yeah,
Yeah, I
that's
get
so
what you're
me
saying.
and him were having a conversation about this too, because I'm not gonna say the exact group one of the groups we're in now, but it's a satanic one.
Yeah, sick.
And I was talking to him about it yesterday. Like, honestly, this video, I'm not going to say it's going to be boring for the satanic one, but it's kind of like there's nothing terrible about them. You know what I mean? Like, at the end of the
Yeah.
day, they do have their opinion and whatever, but they're not like they legit just meet and talk about it. So it's like at the end of the day, if they're not hurting anyone and they're not, Scientology is, of course, different because they like human traffic and they underpay and it's, you can't
Yeah.
talk about it outside, but and so many of these groups are very different from that. So it's we don't mind
Yeah,
at all that
that's
organic.
interesting because some cults want different things out of different people. I know there was one that was getting popular recently. I think there was like a Netflix documentary, and it's like a TikTok church or whatever. I think it's called like 7M. Maybe you could look it up a little bit or whatever. But it was like these famous TikTokers making all this money, and then they joined like the church guru guy, and then he started taking all the money, and he would control them by letting them collab and then cut off their family and like stuff like that. But he was mainly just trying to get the money,
I got that pulled up. I never heard of that. Is that still an active thing? Do you know?
I'm not sure, but I just saw the Netflix documentary came out kind of recently, and then there was a few videos from maybe like a year or two ago. But there was one chick that was in it that was really popular on TikTok, and then I think it was her and her sister were friends or whatever, or like best friends, and then they cut each other off, and then that was like super jarring, and then everyone brought a lot of attention to it,
Yeah.
or something like that. Yeah, but you check that one out. I don't think I don't know if you can join or whatever, but it's like it's
Yeah,
interesting.
no, I'll definitely look into that.
Yeah. Yeah, cool. So you think you're sticking to the cult niche, but you're kind of like done with Scientology, sort of? Is that like the general vibe?
I don't want to blow our cover, but I wouldn't say done with it.
Yeah, okay.
I also one of my I don't want to say fears, but we've heard things from members in it, like the people we've like spoke to um in the Chicago church. Like they've of course reached out after they seen the videos. Like you're after the world is smaller than it looks. Like after a few 100,000 or like million views, like you're it's pretty expected that they've seen it, and they proved to us that they did. I used a not a fake number but a spam number that I have for Scientology, as did he. And I
Yeah.
still do get texts about it, but it's nothing like nothing nothing legal, or it's more so just like please take it down type shit. So I'm hoping it just stays on that note instead of like me getting four guys in black suits on my door.
Yeah. Yeah, that's hectic. What did your parents say about this? Did you tell them before you're gonna post this, or
No,
now do they
no,
say
no.
like, "Don't do this"? No, what are you doing?
Owen, what did your parents say?
That I don't got parents, so I don't gotta worry about that question.
Damn.
We
Okay.
have Dark too, bro. He's not.
Yeah, we don't got. At least I don't got nothing to lose. So this is pure entertainment for me.
Okay.
No, my parents. My dad. I don't think he even knows. My mom. She at first. I was fucking with her at first. I showed her a picture of me in it, and then I told her I converted. I didn't even know she knew what Scientology was or not, and then she got mad at that. But then when I told her it was a joke, she didn't really give a. She just sat down with me for a little bit for like 12 seconds and said like, "Be careful." It was kind of
Yeah.
my parents. Me and Omen again. We've been making content for so long, and at the end of the day, I think Scientology is one of like I don't want to say the least harmful or stupid things we did, but we're just at a point where nobody expects better from us.
Yeah. Okay. That's funny. Was there any part of you that like when you're watching the propaganda movies and stuff, and like when you went into the auditing, was there any part of you being like, "All right, remember not to join. Remember not to get sucked in."
Honestly, it was more like boring. It
Yeah,
almost bored you out of your mind to the point where you're
you
just
fall
standing there staring at
asleep.
it because they would repeat the same video over and over. I think it was a pathetic attempt for them to try like attacking your subconscious mind, saying,
Yeah.
join us, join us, join us. Like that's pretty much how it was instead of like really them giving logical fucking videos to show the people. It would just be these videos where it's like, oh, you have problems,
Mhm.
hypnotize, hypnotize, join us, we're gonna save you, save you. That's
Yeah,
pretty much how the videos were like.
Yeah.
no
Did
way.
you see the one about the tone scale, the emotional tone scale?
Yeah.
We
I like that
probably
one.
did. I can't seem to remember much. Like
I don't
maybe they were
remember
showing.
nothing. All I remember is them showing a video of a dude I remember of them showing a video of a fat dude getting like called a fat ginger like over and over and over
I
again.
bro. I bro.
But other than that, like I don't remember shit that they because it was just so lame and stupid. I feel like it was some
Yeah.
sort of brainwashing behind everything. Like I don't know if
Mhm.
they were using like some sort of certain sound frequency in the videos to like try and tag. I don't fucking know, bro. But that
Yeah,
Yeah.
shit was definitely
do you remember when you were in school and like the teacher would be like, okay, like we'll have a chill day, you'll watch a movie, and then they'll put on like the boringest documentary probably available on the internet about that topic. That's just kind
Yeah,
of
for sure.
that's kind of what it was. It was over and over again. Like there were ones that were the same exact episode, just different actors.
Yeah.
That's what
So
that whole
they
thing was.
film all those like here in LA.
Yeah.
And my girlfriend does kind of like acting and background acting, and she showed me like the sort of like listings for all of them. And now recently I've been applying for like you can be like background actor or whatever. So
Yeah.
you know when you watch the films, say there's a few dudes in the office. Like I'm trying
Yeah.
to be like one of the dudes in the office or whatever and go to see how it goes. It'd be so funny.
Did you?
No, I've been applying to them, but I didn't get any back yet. But I'll keep
Yeah.
doing it and see what happens.
What I heard is they only hire Scientologists for it, so could be
Yeah, I
a
think these ones, probably for the background and the low level, I think they will hire rands because they need so many, you know.
Yeah, maybe.
But maybe for the key ones, because my girlfriend was saying she would read on Reddit that other actors would explain about their experience of it. Like, is it weird or like how did it go?
You know, that was something I wondered a lot while watching them. But I did ask one of the Scientologists at one point who the actors are, and then like they would say that it is other Scientologists. So
Yeah, okay, that's interesting. Um, but yeah, because they just pay like any other film studio or whatever, because they're just grinding.
But
But
keep
yeah,
in mind, Scientology also, even from an architectural standpoint, they hire Scientologist architectures to do that. If you work for the Church of Scientology, you can't go to a therapist or a doctor that's not a
yeah,
Scientologist and stuff like that. So it's kind of that's just how they flow.
yeah. They really hate doctors in general because L. Ron Hubbard kind of
Yeah.
set up that the hatred for psychology or whatever. But the Aaron Kyra, the skater, braille skateboarding guy, he broke his ankle right as it was all popping off, and then he had to get surgery. And they're like super against surgery, but then he was like, "Oh shit, I have to do it." So he kind of like begrudgingly did it. It was like a little bit interesting.
Yeah.
But yeah, I guess we can take some questions from the chat, guys. If you have any questions, for our lovely gents right here. But yeah, it's cool that you guys came on here. I appreciate that. I'm trying to get into this. Like, I love meeting people for the first time on stream. I feel like it's kind of fun. But
This is our first. This is not our first stream actually. We had a stream like 2 days before we started the Scientology thing on Kick though. We're not. We're
yeah,
not too.
this is Jewel on Twitch and Kick.
Yeah.
I feel like Emir, you could kill it on stream. You should just stream either on the YouTube or on Kick or whatever, and then like watch cult or Scientology
Streaming is, I feel like, is difficult for us. Like you really got to keep a personality 24/7. Don't get me wrong, me and him, we like that video. That's how we are all the time, like the stupid, corny jokes and everything. So I know that does have a niche to it, but the content creation is like a full-time job, even when it's not. So like people like you, like I tip my hat to.
Thank you. But yeah, I mean, I think you should keep an open mind to it because I think you could do good. Chat says, can we see the spyglasses?
I with all honesty, I don't have them on me. But if you want to know, they're at my house. I'm in the Scientology dungeon right now, aka work. But if you want to know what they are, I don't gatekeep. I don't know if I said it in a video at all, but they're called Oho Sunshine. Everybody thinks I use the meta glasses, which I never had those until after the Scientology thing, and I bought them, and they're pretty cool. But if you're gonna do anything undercover with them, just don't even bother. It's not.
Meta was kind of scared. I did like a brand deal or whatever for those once, and they would say like, "Do not call these spyglasses. Do not blah blah blah."
Which is understandable because then that's kind of illegal in a way.
Yeah, they're not trying to encourage that like messaging.
Yeah,
and it kind of sucks. You can only record for 3 minutes too. So OHO Sunshine. Okay.
Yeah, Sunshine. They're on Amazon. They're like $50. I as I mentioned, I tweaked them and stuff, but they're honestly great. The quality, in my opinion, was great, better than like most other recording glasses you'll find.
Yeah, I was impressed by
and they record 10 minutes at a time. So and there's no light glaring in your face, so it's great.
So you have to press it every 10 minutes. Were you scared that you're like, oh shit?
Honestly, I think that's kind of what blew our cover in the end, but it's like that was I say this all the time. We got like blown out in the best way. Like it could have. Thankfully, it didn't happen.
Yeah.
No homo, but we got blown out in the best way. Like yeah, thankfully it wasn't during my. I was nervous that it would be during my audit, but the guy auditing me, he was cool as shit. I always would give them the same story too, where it's like these are blue light glasses, and like I'm sensitive to light. And then my blue eyes would help that. Like there was a point where one of the ladies, she was telling me, I made up a bullshit disease that I said I had. And she was like, oh yeah, my dad has the same thing. And then she says that I rolled my eyes.
Yeah, I felt a little bit nervous that like, I was like, can bro keep track of all the lies? He's saying so much.
No, me and Tony both honestly kept track of it better than I thought. The audit, if you are ever planning on doing something similar, like anybody in the chat or anything, the audit is the one thing I would say you really gotta lock into it for, because they're asking you to repeat every little detail, and then they'll like give a whole gap of like a whole separate conversation for like 30 minutes. And then after that, they'll ask you what that first conversation you had was. So if you're like
Yeah.
bullshitting, that's when it's obvious and they won't give you the time. But luckily I rolled in with like that same, I don't know if you remember what I said, but it was like one story of like, what was it, like a cat and like me falling downstairs. And then there was
Yeah.
another story of, yeah, the whole fat Albanian ginger thing. That was
Yeah, and
like,
it was kind of crazy how he's just making you repeat it. He's like, "What insults did they call you? Repeat it, repeat it, repeat
yeah,
it."
I cut out so much to that, but it was legit. I would repeat the same, like each time I said the story would take up like 4 minutes, right? And then I'd have to do that like 12 more times. So it was a long process.
And when you did that, you didn't get to like the thing where you hold the e-meter. It was just like that verbal one.
Yeah,
Right?
so they didn't. That was I didn't know you were even supposed to get that whole metal holding thing.
Yeah.
I didn't know that until after, as I mentioned, I watched Reckless Pens. I watched
Yeah.
that like after we did our whole spiel, and I ended up bringing that up, and I guess they have you do that in some places or something. But I personally, I think Scientology and Aaron, I think backed this up too. I think they're constantly changing their old way of doing things, but still doing it in that old way, if that makes sense. Like I feel like now as time goes on, like younger people are less susceptible to
Yeah,
out of
susceptible.
believing gullible shit. You know what I mean? So it's like if you're giving someone
Yeah.
metal things and expecting that to like that's why lie detectors are barely used anymore in criminal evidence.
Yeah. How old are you guys?
20.
Yeah, okay. So I'm like 33. So like I got to see a little bit more of the like time before sort of like the internet was so powerful and like social media was so powerful.
Yeah.
But it really kind of killed Scientology because they had this like stronghold of if anyone ever talked bad about them, because the way that you would talk bad about them is go on the news and do
Mm-hmm.
like old school non-internet related stuff, you know? And then
Yeah.
if you were to do that, then they really come at you and they will harass you and get you to stop and all stuff like that. But then when kind of social media came around, they can't, like, there's too much negativity, there's too
Yeah.
much ease of information. So then they kind of like gave up a little bit. So like if you were to do something like this and whatever, premiere it on TV or something somehow, back in the day, hell no, like you would really be in trouble. But now because it's just internet age, there's like so much going around, they kind of like, I feel like they kind of like gave up a little bit.
Are you familiar with Leia Ramini?
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
I think she's a prime example as to everything you just said too.
yeah,
Except hers is fairly recent as well, and she still, I heard, like is facing shit for that documentary with Scientology. So it does go to show that powerful stance they used to have, they're still trying every effort possible to maintain even today with the internet shit.
Yeah, she was interesting because she was big into Scientology. I think her mom, she was born in from her mom or something. But she used to go on the interviews and they would say, "What about Scientology?" And she would defend it on TV all the time, defend. Then she was like, "Oh fuck, I gotta quit this." Then when she quit, she's like, "I used to defend. I was the one defending." So it was like really powerful to show her like switch up like that, you know?
Yeah,
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah, I like her documentaries as well. I feel like they were better than there was like Louis Theroux as well did one, the British guy.
Yeah.
Everyone talks about that one, but I feel like hers were much better.
Oh yeah. No, I haven't watched it yet, but I definitely will soon.
Yeah.
You know, we might have to watch that at the next boys sleepover we host weekly.
Hell yeah.
We're gonna be
What
snuggled
snacks
up
you
like
get there?
this.
What snacks you bring to the boys sleepover?
Hell yeah.
Yeah, sick. You guys got any more questions? Chat, you got any questions for him?
Yeah, we're boring. I ain't gonna lie, Ricky. We kind of. This is our first interview, so and I'm streaming from probably the worst device possible. So again, I'm sorry if I'm cutting you
Nah,
off.
it looks and sounds good. There's nothing wrong with it. We got the filters going.
Hell yeah.
Do I have the filters too? I don't
You
think
should.
so.
It's on Google Meet. I think we definitely did not buy these. Maybe
Yeah,
we did.
cool.
Maybe we did. Maybe I want to look like a little emo schoolboy.
It's good with the glasses. They got the lenses in them.
The recording glasses, dude. I've been trying to look for other recording glasses. I've ordered. My mom got pissed at me because like she had like 6 arrive at our door the other day, and they're all so butt. Like you'd think by 2025 there to be some like good secretive
I
pair.
was
They're
thinking
really
more like maybe you could wear like a shirt and then have a pocket and have like
yeah,
a
the
pen or
button.
something.
I heard there's a thing called a button camera. Everybody in my comments telling me to get that, and I looked into it, and it would be effective, but like I don't know. At the end of the day, something about glasses is just so efficient. I just
Yeah, it's
there's
just
like
I feel
less
like
that could go
they're
wrong.
always looking where the lens is, though. You know,
Yeah,
it's like
no, which they
your one,
kind
the
of
lens was in the center, right?
yeah. So that's why again, like I made it a point anytime I was around anybody and still am, like those glasses when are glued to me. Like even when they're not recording, like I'm wearing them, like because when you see people who wear glasses, you typically only see them with their glasses. So I kind of had to make that. Even on a Zoom call yesterday, we did for this other group. I was on a Zoom call and I wore those glasses. So
Yeah,
I'm trying in my best way to get people to see that like they're not as sus as it looks. Like you only I'm gonna shut the fuck up.
for sure. They say
Good boys.
chat says if you were gonna do it again, would you do anything differently now with your like new information?
Hey, Mr. Hitler, you answer this one.
As the question again, I was locked into my background.
They said like now that you went through all this, if you had to do this again, like would have you done anything differently?
Yeah, I probably would have went in with a furry bodysuit, and if they asked me any question on why I had the furry bodysuit, I would tell them that it's something that I'm very uncomfortable in sharing, and that I would like to go through Scientology.
Not
I'd
they
like to go
every
through Scientology to remove this mental insecurity that I have of not wearing a furry
What animal?
bodysuit.
What animal are we talking?
Um, probably a wolf. Probably a
A
wolf.
wolf. Okay.
Yeah, I'll tell them straight up. If they couldn't
Yeah.
fix me, then shit. I guess Scientology is fake.
My other question is when you were in there, so like you're doing all this stuff, it seems like it was over like, multiple days or like weeks or whatever. Did you ever see other people come in? Hey, I'm interested to join. Tell me
Fuck
more.
no.
Never,
literally
right?
No.
literally no. There was
Yeah, isn't
one
that
we
crazy?
saw a couple, like not a couple people, but like a husband wife couple with an infant, a newborn, right? The first day, the very
Yeah.
first day we saw them and they were like started talking to us out of nowhere. And this wasn't in the entry level. This was like upstairs, meaning like
Yeah.
we thought they were joining because they weren't wearing uniform attire, but we ended up seeing the lady next time in uniform attire, as well as the first day. Every every time we watched the movies, we were alone, and there would always be one lady. And at first, she was like a civilian, right? She wasn't an employee. She's not a Scientologist. And then
Yeah.
the day before we left, she was wearing a Scientology uniform.
Yeah,
So
right.
there was legit nobody. It was just like us.
Yeah. It's kind of crazy that they're like all these people working there, all this stuff, and just no one comes in. The only guy who comes in is you two, like not really
Yeah.
serious, Like, damn.
I'm surprised. I'm surprised that they even took us serious. I feel like a part of them knew we were bullshitting, and then a part of them like generally took it. So, like it really goes to show that whichever street that they took, right, whether they took us serious or like didn't take us serious, it really goes to show how thirsty these people are for new people.
Yeah, they like know that it might be not true, but they're still just like, well, I got nothing else to do, kind of thing.
I mean, a sale's a sale to at least like for to the blonde lady. Like I really do think at first I didn't think she was aware of us, but then as I started watching the recordings when we were done, I realized she was low key making hella fat jokes at my ass. Like she knew them cameras were on. Because she would like there was a point where she's like, "You want to take the stairs?" And I'm like, "Yeah." Like, why wouldn't we? And she's like, "You sure? You sure you want to take the stairs?" And there's a point where there's like because I think she really tried to do that because I would constantly mention that I'm fat, right? Because that was my trauma that I wanted to fix with Scientology. Because that's all they
Yeah.
look for. People with some sort of trauma they want to fix. Every employee we asked would give us some traumatic story, and Scientology fixed it. But she would also she would just come at my way hella. Like I have hella clips that I didn't post where she did. Like there was one where she pulled me before my audit and she's like, "Do you want any more brownies?" And I'm like, "I didn't eat a brownie." And she's just milking it. She's like, "Are you sure you don't want any more
You
brownies?"
should cut it. You should cut all those together and be like, "Yo, she low key hostile."
Yeah.
That'd be funny.
Did you see I don't know if you ever saw any of the comments, but did you ever see any of the people begging to hear her music?
Yeah, I mean, I kind of wanted to listen to the music too, to be honest. But I respect that you
Yeah.
didn't like dox
Yeah,
her.
yeah, no, that's the whole like privacy thing. On Aaron's video, he didn't, not that there's a way for him to, because he doesn't know her either, but um I filtered all their names out of my YouTube. Like I'm, there's like a way you could do that where you can put certain words that people aren't allowed to comment, and
Yeah,
then it just automatically deletes it. I didn't know that until I started YouTube, and that was very helpful. So anybody who
yeah.
puts her name or anybody else's, it's not gonna work, which is why in YouTube it's not found. But in Aaron's video, Loki, like people doxed the fuck out of her. Like there were people like
Dang.
this one guy like made a whole video talking about how he went to high school with her, and I'm not gonna say the shit he
Well, that's
said.
him. That's him doxing her, not you or
Yeah,
Aaron.
no, that's not me. I know at the end of the day, I did. Yes, she was found because of me. Like, yeah, I made these videos. I can't act like I didn't, but I did everything in my power that I genuinely could to like not have that happen. Not even for like legal purposes, but at the end of the day, like people are weird. People do too much. So
Yeah. No, I think that's fine. It's like you did the best thing. Like, what else can
it's
you do?
funny. It's funny. I'm sorry to cut you off, but I send Omen every day. She's constantly posting screenshots on her story every day that I view from a third party burner account, right? And it's just constantly her Spotify going up, and she's like, "Thank you for 500 monthly listeners. Thank you for this." And then I'm like, "Shit,
Dang,
I wonder where she got that from." Because when she said she had 4K monthly listeners, but that day we checked, and she was at like 16,
dang.
and now she's at like
What like genre is it?
it's like she said it was pop. She made it look like she went viral and like her life
It's like
changed.
some kids bop shit.
Yeah, no, I'm not
Dang.
gonna say it was terrible. Some people are like, like literally on my YouTube right now, someone commented saying like the music's actually good. I found it. I mean, I'm not gonna act like it's terrible, but she only has 3 songs out, and they're like the most generic. Like if you ask ChatGPT to make a song, in my opinion.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, it's interesting when you say like, "Oh, when did you join?" and they tell you a similar story. Oh, I joined and then I made $10,000 and my music started to
Uh-huh.
go. Yeah, yeah. Aaron
I
Kyra
was
was
I was
similar to
tempted to
that
ask
too.
her how she made that 10,000.
Yeah,
Yeah, you should have.
I found
Mr.
out
Paul
she.
Sakovich with the tough questions.
Yeah, no, she has a bunch of Instagram accounts where it's like one was like her as a real estate agent, the
Oh,
other is her
really?
musician account, and this, that, blah, blah. So I don't know. I in my mind, I think she just like went through a shit ton of jobs and then ended up like Scientology is just in her 2-year contract phase right now. She mentioned that Grant Cardone was the reason she joined the first time when we were
Yeah.
outside. But then I asked her that later on, and I didn't put this part in the video, but like she acted like she didn't know Grant Cardone at all after. So it's like she kind of forgot her own story, and had I
Yeah,
not
I could
reported
see
it.
that being a recruit technique because then
Yeah.
they're trying to say someone you know, someone that's known to be successful, someone that's kind of more relatable, and you say, "Yeah, Grant Cardone got me in." It's kind of like name dropping almost.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, no, they use that topic. They use that whole tactic a lot. They used it with me. So she kind of pulled us. They kind of pulled us 1-on-one because I don't know if they thought that separating us was gonna like get any different reaction than what they
Yeah.
were already getting. But she had separated us. I ended up getting with her, the blonde chick, right?
Getting with her.
She was so hell bent on me buying the book. Like it was almost she was basically begging. Like it wasn't even like obviously people put a front when they're trying to. But at this point, like she might as well just got on her knees and just started begging me. Like at that point, because that's pretty much what she was doing without actually getting on her knees. She sat
Yeah.
me down, right? So the first day that we did, like we did this thing called a personality test, whatever. So they quote unquote find something wrong with you. Um, we did that first day, right? That's pretty much the first day we did. She then had me on a one-on-one trying to like fish like a traumatic experience out of me, right? Uh, which was obviously it was all bullshit. Like we trolling them. I like I said, I don't know how they really took it serious, but trying to fish this traumatic experience out of me. He just leave the call,
Yeah, I think so. Maybe he'll come
but
back in
yeah,
a sec.
not. She was trying to fish this reaction out of me. Which I was just giving her whatever bullshit. Then she hits me. She says, "Hey, I think it'd be a good thing for us to do I think it'd be a good thing for us to do a personality test. And I stopped. I'm like, I already did that first day I got here. She's like, oh, you did? Like, it's just pathetic attempts to try to just get in book sales. That's all it was. It was honestly, it was so bad.
Yeah.
Like they're like you could tell that they were just begging. Like they weren't even trying anymore.
Yeah. But I mean, how many books do you think they sell? Like literally like one a month probably.
Probably one every 2 fucking months.
I
Yeah.
think the book we bought was like, and what's funny is I don't know how Omen showed up so many times without buying the fucking book. Because
Yeah.
I thought it would get to a point where they just flat out tell them like, look, buy the book or leave the facility. But it was mostly just us going to these free events that they had, and it would only just be us and them. And I don't know, it's just my main interesting idea from it all was how the building is constantly like full of employees every time we're there, you know, because like if you look online, they close at 9 o'clock, but then we're there so late and there's still a bunch of them there.
Yeah. It looked like from the videos that you were going there like after work hours or whatever.
Bye, you too.
um it seemed like yeah, it was after work hours. They just work another job to kind of like be able to afford to do that because
Yeah.
Scientology doesn't pay them shit. They usually like volunteer or they're getting paid like so low. Because that's what I learned from Aaron Kyra's like circle.
That's also what's interesting because we asked even the blonde lady again. We asked her at first, and in the first video, she says she volunteered, but then later on, she claims that it's a job. So it's like I don't know. At the end of the day, it's just them putting on a whole front to say whatever you want to hear.
Yeah, totally. Is that Chicago right now?
Yeah, I'm sorry. I know this is random as hell, but I just had to clock out.
Nah, you
Just
good.
I'm
Yeah,
gonna
like
get
if you guys
docked,
gotta
bro.
run, like you no worries as well.
No, not at all. We're here however long you would like. And you're
Man,
our.
you gotta use the background.
How do you do
It
that?
looks nice.
Use the city background.
Wait, how do I add one?
There you go.
Fuck.
With the city view.
Hell yeah.
I like the books too. In the library studying.
Oh shit, it's not. Yeah. Ricky, tell us more about whatever you can with your experience with Scientology, because that's still something I'm interested in.
Yeah, so Aaron Kyra is kind of interesting. He joined Scientology similar way to the recruiter girls that we were talking about with you. Um he was a skateboarder and then he moved from like Montana to San Francisco to kind of like try to make it in skateboarding. And he had like a little bit of momentum, like he had some companies interested in him and all this stuff. Then it kind of like all fell apart and he was like kind of like down and out, like not really making much money, like had nothing really going for him. And then around that time he just does personality tests, same kind of thing, and then ends up joining. And he kind of says the way they got him is they said it was like he has poor communication, and then he was doing this stuff to like improve his communication. And then at the similar time he had success on YouTube, so sort of started around then too. So he was kind of thinking like, oh, I had no communication, now I'm making all this money as a YouTuber, like communicating. Well, that's crazy. And then they really got him, you know, like I don't know. But he was kind of old too. He's like 20. Like I don't know what I guess that's probably when you would join, you know, because to me it seems like you get him at 20. Like what the hell?
That's what it looks like, but and that's again why I think like the Chicago location is doing terrible. Like it speaks for itself, but it's also like there was an ex-Scientologist from the Chicago location that I spoke to. And she even said, she's like, the Chicago location is like on the verge of closing down because it's doing terrible. Because normally the people they look for are obviously people who don't know shit about Scientology and
Yeah.
young people. And that's, of course, by now it's like, who hasn't heard about Scientology? Unless it's like anybody who doesn't live under a rock.
Yeah, exactly. But anyway, yeah. Now and then Aaron did. He was just background Scientologist for the longest time. And then with the skating thing, like they said in that documentary, is everything was fine. You know, he's doing his shit in his personal life, but then when we're skating, it's just about skating. But then he kind of went away to like the business school. So where Aaron Smith Levin lives, Clearwater, is like kind of like the Scientology hub that's Scientology city.
Yeah.
And he went over there, and he would go and come back, but like he was basically gone for like 2 years from the channel and stuff.
Yeah.
And then obviously that caused all problems with the channel. It disgruntled all the employees. The business was going down, 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 like not making so much money and all kind of shit like that.
Yeah,
and then it kind of exploded.
If I'm correct, I know he took channel money, underpaid the employees, and then used that money to forward Scientology. Is that how
so
true
like
is that?
that's I mean, I guess it depends on the wording. It's like he makes money from the business and he's the sole owner. And then he has the money in Mr. Aaron Kyra's account, right? And then he spends Mr. Aaron Kyra money on like donations and courses and whatever. So it's like it's not explicitly from the business, or like he's not doing anything illegal or anything. But it's like, I don't know. I guess that's where he's acquiring the wealth to give them, kind of thing, you know?
Yeah. Which
but yeah, it was interesting because then it kind of all exploded. The skate park got demolished. He did like kind of like wronged the employees and left this like bad relationship with everyone. And then now he got promoted at the Scientology San Francisco Center, and he runs it now. Like he's the head guy at the San Francisco Scientology one, which is so crazy. And then even crazier is recently in Clearwater they had like they call it like the L. Ron Hubbard birthday game, but whatever. It's like a big Scientology sort of festival type thing. And then his org, the San Francisco org, like won like first prize, fucking best org. I think it was most book sales or like most profitable org, I think is the criteria. And he won. I was like, whoa, that's crazy. Like he's the best. And then he gave this crazy, there's like leaked audio of the acceptance speech. And it's like, it's so kind of creepy that, because, you know, Bray was really popular and had a lot of fans and stuff. But then to see him kind of like saying all the Scientology words is like, whoa, like this is crazy.
Yeah. I don't think what makes a religion a bad religion is its beliefs. Like as crazy as it sounds, like even though that whole like Xenu volcano type idea is like bizarre for us to hear, at the end of the day, if that's all it was, like it wouldn't be all that bad. But everything you just stated, like, is runner up and why Scientology is a contender for biggest bullshit of the fucking globe. Because what religion is going to go around just saying the word profit at all? You know what I mean? It's like if a church is talking about how they're profiting, it's kind of a terrible thing. It kind of beats the whole point of a religion and your tax exemption.
Yeah, and like that was the main thing, is like I said, there was like this period of time where everything was fine. His personal life's whatever. He's just passively doing his own shit. But then Scientology, it's like so toxic that it got to the breaking point where it kind of like forces him, choose Scientology or your business. And then that's kind of what like made it all implode, is like him choosing Scientology kind of. But it is interesting. Because as well as like when I did the interview with Natalie and Aaron Smith Levin, you know, they grew up in it and then they escaped in their 30s kind of thing. It actually made me way more empathetic for Aaron. Because before I was, the narrative is like, yeah, this greedy guy underpaid them and he's taking all the money and he's doing all this weird, creepy stuff. It was kind of like that vibe. But after talking to them, they honestly think he's like broke and he would have made like millions of dollars from his successful channel for many years, you know? So it's like, damn, if bro's really broke, like, man, like, I feel so sorry for him. It's like, he kind of like won the lotto a little bit and like got this dream situation of having this successful channel and made all this money and all this stuff. And then homie just fries it all off. Sorry. Yo, Gibi, thank you so much for the raid. Appreciate you out here. We're doing a little Scientology interview right now.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, it's sad. Like, I really, you know, you got to be accountable for your decisions and everything like that, and you shouldn't just give people a free pass. But it's like, bro really cooked his life. It's like, shit.
Yeah, no, it's that kind of ties in with and I hate to keep referencing the videos over and over again, but there was a part where after my personality test, that little interview, the Scientologist asks me, or she tells me about the Albanian teacher she had in Scientology. And I know to like in American, or just someone who doesn't know much about Albanians, that means like nothing. But it's interesting to me because my
Uh-oh.
perception of a fucking farm in the middle of nowhere where it's like a group of people who grew up together and it's like low key. But Scientology, it's not only interesting because it's so big and worldwide, but it's so diverse. So it's like going to an American Girl doll store. Like you'll be able to connect in like you have those people out there for a reason. So it's not looking like a one party type of thing.
Yeah. Yeah. But yeah, I always, because even before I joined, I always found Scientology kind of interesting, and I would watch a lot of the documentaries and kind of just go down the rabbit hole. But then to be
Yeah,
like personally affected, it's like, oh damn. And then to
yeah, no,
especially talk to some of these people and hear how it's affected their life, it's like, man, it's rough.
yeah, like that. So there's I'm not sure if you're aware, but there's a website where they have like a whole Scientology database. So if you're a Scientologist, you're found in the database. I forgot what
Yeah,
the website's called, but you
and
can
they kind
find
of
it.
see
And
how high they went and stuff.
yeah, through the courses. And so I did take a look at Aaron Cairo the other day, and yeah, it's like what you said. It's not only different when it hits close to home, but when it's able to be backed up, like you're able to see how much money these people spent on this religion to acquire the next level of it. It's
Yeah.
it's very interesting.
Yeah, Aaron is OT7, like the second highest, and then it's like
Hmm.
confirmed $1 million donation. But talking
Yeah,
to Aaron Smith Levin, the past Scientologist guy, he said if it says a million, it's like that's definitely not everything. It's like it's probably double. So he's like probably like 2 million, which is fucking
I bet.
insane.
Yeah, I bet.
But yeah, I think
That
that's why Scientology likes these kind of like celebrity type people. It's because they know they have a lot of money and then they have sort of influence as well. So it's like, I mean, maybe now it's so much negativity usually, but it's like in general, it's like, yeah, Aaron Kyrie is a Scientologist. Look at the legitimacy of this thing because this famous
Mhm.
channel is a Scientologist.
Yeah, I don't know if you ever saw any videos of like Scientologist hangouts or gatherings, but there's one Reckless Ben had where he went to one, and it just looked like like a rich person like ball or party, and I
Yeah,
think that's also what makes this whole idea of Scientology appealing to celebrities and high profile people because it's like another one of those things where it's like you're donating for a good cause, you're spending loads of money while having like a good night. You're all dressed up with how you're around highly successful people. You're gonna assume what you're doing is a good thing, you know?
yeah. Yeah, for sure. The way I got the interpretation I got from them is like because I would hang around with a lot of Scientology people in a group, kind of. So it'd be like Aaron and then his other people, and you watch how they interact with each other. It's almost I would compare it to like Harry Potter, right? In Harry Potter, there's the two sides, the Muggles and then the Wizards. The wizards don't talk about fucking Wingardium Leviosa bullshit in front of the Muggles, you know? It was kind of like that. They would never ever bring up Scientology, never say, "Hey, are you gonna
Yeah,
go to the org tomorrow?" Blah blah. Blah. It would just be
yeah,
100% never. And then like I'm friends with them, so if I explicitly said, "Hey, are you going to Scientology tomorrow?" They're not gonna lie or anything. Like they'll tell me, but they'll never bring it up. They'll never talk about it in
yeah,
front of you or never ever bring it up. I thought that was
yeah,
kind of interesting.
yeah. Because that does also fall into their belief where same with like the employees, they're not able not only to not talk about it outside of their job, but they're anything they say about it has to be what's taught to them. Like they can't interpret the same way like how Christianity and Islam has different sects and different um like how there's Catholics and there's Protestants, all that. They don't want that for
Yeah,
Scientology. Like they want everything to be strictly from Daddy Hubbard's mouth.
yeah, totally, yeah,
A bit relating to what we spoke about earlier. That whole like Albanian deal where like that lady said she had an Albanian teacher. Me and Tony, we left that day and we thought it was we thought it was BS because like their whole job is to kind of connect to you to reel you in.
yeah,
But we ended up looking up her name after that day, and we found that there is a very popular Albanian family in the Scientology community, which it sounds like again, it doesn't sound very jarring at first um because it's not like Albanians aren't fucking Mormon people or Amish people where they can't go outside. But what made that very interesting is because you're any as Albanians, like any other Albanian you'll meet, is going to be Catholic or Muslim, or for the most part. So finding someone who's a Scientologist seems kind of jarring on how they get somebody across the world to join that. But then we looked into it and we found that she was supposedly trafficked into Scientology. I don't want to be around throwing allegations or anything, or he said, she said, but I went very deep down that rabbit hole with somebody who is related to her, and I got to speak to them the other day, and they claimed that indeed she was trafficked into it from the capital city.
Damn.
Which, yeah. So it's just the reason I bring that up is because, like you said, it's a whole hush hush topic, and I'm sorry, I'm making a hard turn, but yeah, I'm gonna stop yapping.
No, you good. Yeah. Yeah, it is. It's like very because like if you truly believe the Scientology like indoctrination or whatever, like you're literally living a crazy like sci-fi like live action movie or whatever, you know? Like what you truly believe is fucking insane.
Yeah, no, definitely the whole. At the end of the day, like I said, we're not to each their own. We're not one to talk about others' religions, but I just the part that gets hard to grasp is not only that it's a man-made religion in the 50s, but the person they started it after and that they have statues all along the building of flat out said himself, the way to get rich is not writing right. The way to get rich is not writing fiction; it's making a religion. I
Yeah.
don't know if you heard that, but he flat out said that himself, and it's a known thing. And if you do bring that up to Scientologists, they close the doors on you. We wanted to
Yeah.
test that, but we couldn't. For obvious reasons, we didn't.
Yeah, I think it was the ex-wife that has that quote. That's like firsthand heard him say that. But yeah, it's funny too. They have like museums of him. I think there's another one here in LA. And the museum, they'd be like, "Oh, he did this great Navy stuff. He did this. Oh, he traveled the world and learned all about the world." And like his real life is so different from how they like pump it up, you know?
Yeah, I heard that.
But yeah, it's funny.
Heard that.
But yeah, cool. Um, we might like wrap it up, I guess. Like, you got any
Yeah,
sort of like final thoughts or anything, Mr.
Tony, you've been
Bolsagovich?
quiet. What's the word, Tony?
Shit, fucking, uh, Scientology, low key. I'm joining Scientology, bro. I don't care what I'm saying, bro.
Hell yeah, sounds good.
No, there's that I mean that the whole conversation pretty much wrapped everything up. Like this shit's a cult. They're just in it for the money. Anybody anybody who genuinely is in Scientology either doesn't have an IQ higher than 20 or they're forced into it. I mean that's just what it is.
Hey,
I mean
hey,
it's all a money scheme.
Yeah.
But yeah, that pretty much summed
But
everything up.
it's
yeah,
I feel like it's kind of complicated though, because you know all those people that you interacted with at the org, like they're not gaining money, you know, like they truly
yeah,
they
We don't
believe in the
get shit.
cause, like they're broke, like they're not making shit from Scientology, but they believe in the
yeah,
cause, and then the one who's getting rich is the leader guy, you know, so
yeah,
it's like it's tough. It like that's why I have a bit more empathy and sympathy for them. It's like yeah, they're trying to recruit you and trying to take your money, but like they're kind of like a pawn in the scheme of it all, you know.
yeah. No, it's and I'm actually glad you both brought that point up because I think it is a good way uh to end because it's honestly the most important point in my opinion. How do they have people in the first place? Like even the employees we saw, like like they. I know Tony Balsakovich said they don't have an IQ higher than 20, but like they just seem like put together individuals a lot of the time, in my opinion. Like, would you say so, Ricky? Having watched the video, like you can see
Yeah,
like
totally.
the personality within them. They're not like barbaric fucking Flintstones that the first piece of technology led them to Scientology. So obviously they're there for a reason. But like we mentioned earlier, Scientology strictly only goes for people who don't know about it. Like if you walk past the Scientology building and they ask you, do you know anything about Scientology, and you remotely say yes, they're not going to bother with you. They'll
Yeah.
shit. Maybe they'll get that book sale and then they'll like just stop giving a fuck. But like thinking through Aaron Cairo's defense, like I'm willing to bet he knew minimal things about it before joining. And so, of course, if the first grasp you get of Scientology is this positive stuff about mental health and how to better yourself and everything, it's not going to be something you dislike. You're not going to expect that at the end of it. It's a pyramid scheme.
Yeah.
Tony brought this point up the first day we were there, where it's like all their teachings that they give you right off the bat are like the most like simplistic things, where it's like healthy lifestyle, this that, like shit you'd see on like a TikTok influencers like Body Goals fucking highlight. So
Yeah, like
it's
actual
hard.
genuinely good advice at the start.
Yeah,
Because
like
that's
it's
how they
it's
sort of lure
hard
you
to
in.
hate on that at that point. So it's kind of like we mentioned earlier, everybody who joined at a low in their life. So if you're seeing something positive like that, of course you're bound to fall into that step.
Yeah.
They give us like these free books, like these free little pamphlets, right? And
Yeah,
it's pretty much the beliefs of Scientology. And in the books, it literally just states like basic human necessities, I guess, to just being good. Like they want to reel you in that their whole cause is good or whatever, even
yeah.
though it's from money. Like in
Yeah.
the book, they talk about, you got to keep yourself. In the book, they talk about.
What do they talk about in the book, bro?
My bad. In the book, they talk because I know a lot of people don't do this. In the book, they talk about.
Come on, bro. Spit it out.
In the book, they talk about keeping yourself clean. Okay, in the book, they talk about getting physical. They talk about getting physical activity.
If
In the book, they talk about grooming.
what?
Grooming.
They don't talk about grooming, bro. Shut your bitch ass up. Me and Tony Balsakovich, we don't believe in showers and cleanliness, so that book was hard to relate to.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we don't
right.
believe in physical activity either. It's pretty
Damn.
obvious.
No wonder they couldn't get you then.
Nah, me and Tony, we have these inside jokes we do like the other day we were low key on a 2-man, and I brought up the joke that Tony doesn't shower, and he didn't like that very much. So then he started coming at my weight, so it's kind of became a thing like in public to kind of put each other down for those things. So that's what this whole thing is about.
Yeah, sick. That's cool.
It's sick.
Yeah, I
That
know.
is
So
sick.
I guess they really targeted us because we didn't really follow their 10 commandments.
Yeah.
So, don't cry.
Another
Come on, spit out, bro. Another one.
another one was not having cruelty to animals. So
Okay. That's good.
I guess they tried reeling you in. They just wanted to look very like high morals type shit. They just
Yeah,
want to
for
look like
sure.
they had high morals.
Yeah.
When Tony Balsakovich walks past flowers, they die. So animal cruelty is something difficult for him. Like he sent me a video the other day of him shooting a sunflower. That's no bullshit. That's not even a joke. He sent me a video of him shooting. Like he's at a public park and just shoots a sunflower with a, what was it? A Glock what?
No, it was a Taurus.
Public park. Let's not do that.
This is the U.S., Ricky.
Yeah.
I know, bro.
They were known
Is
for
that
that.
bro? Like Amir Ball. I don't know Amir Baller. Be honest, keep it a stack. Did you take a shower before we went in there? Because
Okay, that has
the
defined shower.
the
Don't
the,
do
the
that shit.
day the shower. So I know it's second day topic, but the day before we went, Amir Balsakovich dug his whole hand. He dug his whole hand up his ass, bro. So I don't know if he was getting ready to shake their hands as a
Uh
disrespect or what.
We're
oh.
You see this beach, bro? Like the water in the background, bro. This is like lava to us, bro. We don't like no water.
Yeah, I think I see a volcano in the back too. So that makes sense.
That's what Zenu sent us.
Yeah.
I'm crying. Yeah. Ricky, we wanted to thank you again. And apologies for us getting off track at times about
No,
our
you good.
our beliefs or lack thereof in hygiene.
For sure. No, I think it's really cool, and like I think you have like a fun thing going, and the content was really good. I think you should definitely like pursue it and like stay on it. Just try not to not post for too long. Like that's the most important thing, honestly.
Yeah, no, that's something we figured, and it's funny you're saying that because Tony Bosakovic is moving to Cali.
Yeah, I know.
Oh
I'm
yeah,
moving. I'm moving.
Yeah.
I got business with I got
No,
I got
he actually
no.
is moving.
I'm
Like
actually I'm
from
moving to
Cesar.
Cali.
So
Cause I
it's
have
they're gonna be
business.
difficult to pull through
Yeah,
with that whole
I
content
have business with a pegger named Natasha over there. So she lives over there in
yeah.
L.A. She
I
lives
feel
over there
that.
in L.A. And we're gonna do some pegging business over there,
I bro.
and then while I'm out there, we're gonna hit Scientology. Hopefully, get some more clips off that. Yeah, hey,
Yeah.
have you ever interviewed the dude who be like screaming at the Scientologists in L.A. like on the sidewalk?
Nah, but I think I know who you mean though. I think if you just go to Hollywood Boulevard is the main one that he's always goes to. I think you'll see him if you go
Yeah,
to Hollywood Boulevard.
yeah. We spoke to him. He's pretty cool. We honestly I think we spoke to damn near everybody who makes Scientology content at this point. Like that's one thing we noticed. That the Scientology community is actually pretty tight. Like it's big, but it's like tight. So it's like everybody knows everyone in the field. I think.
Yeah, I guess I would call it the anti-Scientology community rather than the Scientology community. But yeah, I agree that they all kind of like know and support
Yeah,
each other. It's kind of nice.
100%. 100%. But yeah, in that note, that's kind of what's going to be difficult for us for now because we are making videos and stuff now. But as you can imagine, this style that we do, it's not like you can't just film it in a week and click post by the next week. Like it takes a fat
Yeah,
minute. And so
yeah.
now that he's moving, it's going to be difficult to pursue. But we're planning on because I figured out had I monetized my video, like had I monetized any of my videos from posting, we would have had like enough money to at least like get a plane ticket and do this in another state and stuff. So um, this whole time we've been spending everything out of pocket and everything, but we're trying to find a way to convert that into an actual ongoing series, not with Scientology, but with other things. Like we're interested in trying to get into the. Have you heard of the Yellow Deli?
Yeah. I think Reckless
Yeah,
Ben did that one. I think it's San Diego,
he
right?
did. They have multiple locations as well. They have it in New York too.
Okay,
Um,
sick.
yeah, so we're gonna try. We're like I mentioned, we're in a few others right now.
Yeah,
That I can't say yet, but the Yellow Deli is, I think, if you like the Scientology series, I think the Yellow Deli is gonna be the next closest to that. So
yeah, sick.
stay tuned.
Is that what's gonna drop next, or you don't know yet? Or
No, we have a few others. I have um the exact one we're gonna do next. I don't know. It depends on like how we play our cards and if we're gonna be done showing up yet and whatnot. Like every video like takes I'd say at least 3 months. So it's like I'm not saying the next video will be in 3 months, but I will have something within the next I'd say 4 weeks, and it may or may not be Scientology related. Dot
yeah,
dot dot.
sounds good. I'll be ready to watch. I'm
Heck yeah.
excited. Yeah, awesome. But yeah, if you guys do come out to LA and you got some spare time, like hit me up and maybe we could link
Oh
up.
yeah.
That'd be
Oh,
cool.
we'd be more than happy to. You could teach me how to skate.
Yeah. Man,
Hell yeah.
Sakovic can skate again. That'd be
Nah.
fun.
Oh shit, pick it back up.
Yeah.
Hey, why does it say Kevin? No joke. Why?
Yeah, you
Where did
confuse
Kevin
me.
Dallas come from?
That's my email.
All right. Me and Tony Balsakovich have a shit ton of spare emails and numbers.
Yeah,
That was
sick.
one thing for Scientology too. That's also why we stopped showing up when we did, because they got to a point where they needed our license and stuff, and so like we didn't have like they go through background checks from what I know, and that's also like the Freemasons do that, and this satanic cult that we were in that we can't really post was the same deal where it's like you have to prove who you are, and that's also what makes this kind of content difficult.
Yeah. Eventually, an obstacle that you might face later is like if you get popular, known for infiltrating cults, then you'll have like they'll kind of like recognize you kind of thing.
Yeah,
But yeah, it should be fun though. It's kind of a
Yeah.
fun, like, I feel like people sort of like fantasize about it. Like, I wish I could join and see what happens, and then like they can kind of like live through you guys.
No, 100%. Actually, I was gonna say something, but I forgot. Yeah, for the if to anybody who does want to do this sort of stuff, I guess I could finish on this note. Would be, at least on my end, I would say, fuck, this fucking car is so slow, dude. Holy shit. I'm sorry. No, but
No, you
I'm all about exploring, but the number one thing I would say to do is leave all your opinions at the door. It's like walking into your work. Like, you just leave all your problems or whatever you know about anything. Honestly, go in with a zero mindset. Don't let, even if you know it's like a shitty environment to be in, really gain that experience for yourself. Otherwise, are you really doing it for content, or are you doing it to be authentic? Anybody could
yeah,
edit a video in a particular way to make it look like it was like bad or anything, but again, I think that's why I'm proud of what we did, and I liked it because we kept that seesaw balance, you know.
yeah, for sure. Hell yeah. All right, I think I'll let you guys go. Really
So
nice to meet you and chat.
you as
Keep
well.
up the
Thank you very
grind.
much.
Be
Again,
safe. Stay away
apologies.
from the showers. Definitely don't touch the water.
Hell yeah. That was
Good luck
rare.
with the pegging.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Right. Ricky, thank you again very much. We appreciate it. I'm glad. I must say, I appreciate the way you came in about it, because it took like what, 2 texts, and you had a Google Meet link for it. And
Yeah, let's
I
go.
like that, because everybody else, for some reason, likes to have us mark it on their calendars and make wedding invitations and shit. So
Yeah.
I'm glad. I appreciate you being on it and your ability to adjust to our lack of quality.
No, it's good. Thank you. I appreciate that. Like I said, I'm a little new to the like interviewing type thing. I'm more to IRL stuff. So
Yeah.
this has been fun for me too.
Hell yeah. Keep it up. Keep
All
it
right.
up.
All right. No worries, guys. Have a good evening. Bye.
Thanks, boss. Bye bye, chat.
Let's go. We did it, guys. First official interview. 2-on-1 too.